So younger me was an absolute idiot who lived in a complete fantasy world. Both when he was in and out of school, the only thing he could think about was TV, movies, YouTube, comic books, and video games. Because he was constantly entrenched in these fictitious worlds, he found it very difficult to separate fiction from reality. He was told growing up that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And so, fueled on whimsy, younger me fiddled away the hours, watching TV, playing video games, and, like drawing, and writing, and doing other stuff. Convinced he was going to become a rich and famous artist, he never dared to explore outside the confines of his house. He never got a job, he never bothered with friends, he never volunteered, he never really helped out around the house. No, younger me was far too busy to waste time with such trivialities. He was, after all, the creator of the next pop culture icon. However, younger me was so consumed with the idea of following your passion, aka making money doing the thing that he loved, that he started to begin resenting the things that he thought he was passionate about. Self-doubt didn't just enter the theater of his imagination, it ran it. And it was all because he held on to this toxic idea, this lie that if you follow your passion, whatever that means, everything will just magically work out for you. He held himself back from getting skills and experiences that could actually help him, pursue something meaningful. The point of this story is not to discourage you from trying to pursue a career that would provide you with purpose and meaning, but it's to warn you that the generalized advice of follow your passion is cliche and unhelpful, to say the least. It's deceptive and misleading. It's vague. Follow your passion. What does that actually mean? What is this mystical, magical passion that we're talking about here? How do I follow it? If I don't know what the passion is, how do I follow it? And then how do I make money from this magical unicorn passion that will make life amazing and easy, and then everyone I work with will be great and it'll be not stressful at all. I think part of the problem is we place this weird expectation on people that by the time they graduate high school, they should know exactly what it is they want to do with their lives. Which is a silly expectation to have because most grown adults don't really know what to do with themselves. At the end of the day, we're all motivated by the same thing. We want to avoid pain and suffering, and we want to pursue something that is meaningful, that gives us purpose, that makes our lives better. This is a good thing. I would never ever recommend anyone settle for something because it's practical. Trying to pursue a meaningful occupation that makes you feel significant and valued is not only a noble pursuit, I would go as far as to say it is our responsibility. I say this quite often. We should try to become the best version of ourselves, not just for ourselves, but for everybody around us. So if the advice, follow your passion, is vague and doesn't really mean anything, how do we pursue something meaningful? How do we pursue something that actually gives us purpose in our life? How do we actually follow our passion? One, following your passion starts by working out. The importance of working out isn't just for our body, it is substantially important for our mind. Biologically speaking, the reason we have brains at all in the first place is so that we can move, so that we can do stuff. Life evolved a brain to make it easier to move towards food, energy, and resources. So if you're not moving, if you're not utilizing this brain that you have, it's not going to be really motivated to do anything. When we move our bodies, when we do something difficult, we increase the oxygen flow going to our brain, and we can think clearer, and we become more motivated. It's also just a good way to build confidence and give us a sense of accomplishment for the day. 2, gotta start actively building a vision for your life. I talk about this book, Visioneering, all the time on this channel for a reason. This is a book whose value increases exponentially over time. It's like putting money into a high-yield savings account. The more time, thought, and energy you put into this vision, the more it grows, the more conviction you have in it, the more you will begin to see this vision manifest in reality. A vision is multifaceted. It is a clear picture of what your life could and should be. The power of a vision comes in the form of specification. Where you live, who you live with, whether or not you're married, who you're married to, whether or not you have kids, how many kids, how much you're making, what you're doing for a living, what you do for hobbies, who your friends are, things like that. A vision is developed across a very long period of time, and it requires active participation in your present life. What I've learned throughout this process is that a vision starts with who you are as a person. It's the most significant factor. Who are you? Are you a hard worker or are you lazy? Are you a procrastinator or do you get things done as soon as they appear? Are you a liar or are you a truther? A vision is entirely dependent on who you are, which is dependent on your actions, which is dependent on your habits, which is dependent on your beliefs. And this whole process is built to attack those beliefs, get rid of the useless ones, and implement more useful ones. 3, develop your interests. Jordan Peterson says that, quote, "You are set up so that you're automatically interested in those things that would fully expand you as a well-adapted creature. Your interest is captured by those things that would lead you down a path of development." Now, it sounds like a metaphysical idea or a mystical idea even, but it's not. It's a really profoundly biological idea. Oh, well, I'm interested in video games, so that'll work out, right? That's my interest. That's cope, and you know it. Can we take this seriously, please, for a second? Video games do not count as an interest. Pornography does not count as an interest. These are things that are actively working to hold you back. I'm talking exclusively about productive interests. Drawing, writing, woodworking, metalworking, martial arts, sewing, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is really, and the kicker is it doesn't have to make you money. Most things won't make you money. They'll probably cost money. But what they will do is help to contribute to developing your character, which, as we have discussed before, is the most important part of this process. The more you start developing your interests, the more you learn, the more you figure out what you like and dislike, and the more interesting you will become. 4, work. I don't really care whether it's a job, whether it's school, whether it's volunteering. I don't care. It is unbelievably important to work. Why? Once again, it's one of the best ways to develop your character. You get to build skills. You get to be better at communicating with people. And on top of that, you earn money, which, if you're young, and let's say you're still living with your parents, is going to be a lot easier to do when you're older and you have responsibilities and you have to live on your own. Younger me used to believe that money's the root of all evil, man. It's bad. I don't need it. I don't know where that idea came from. Once again, that's probably a product of Hollywood movies and ideology that the bad guy is always a handsome young man in a really expensive suit and is the CEO of some company, and he's only motivated by money. And so money is bad because Hollywood told me that money is bad. And that's stupid because money is important. We need it to freaking survive. You can't survive without money. And having a decent amount of it stockpiled will actually help you to pursue the things that you actually want to pursue. So if you were like me and you have this stupid idea that money is bad and evil, it's dumb, it's a lie, it's there to trick you, and it's holding you back. Let's get rid of these stupid false beliefs and move on. Number 5, time is your most valuable asset. Something that I have learned from working and wasting so much time is how valuable it is, how much I value my time. Spending 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, working on somebody else's dream makes you realize how much you could be doing to work on your own dream. You start getting frustrated, you start feeling like you're wasting your time. That now, if you're in a position where you have to work because you have to make money, you have to save money up, it makes you appreciate the time that you do have a lot more. And you start finding ways to be more efficient with it. One thing I learned, something along those lines, is that weekends are not about having fun and, wasting time playing video games and getting shit-faced and doing stupid stuff like that. That's what everybody else is doing. That's what normies are doing. We have a full 48 hours to do whatever the hell we want to do, so why would we waste time numbing ourselves and escaping reality? The weekend is the perfect opportunity for you to start developing your passion, to start realizing what your dream is. Or if you already know what your interests are, just to start pursuing them. Something that a lot of entrepreneurs say is that if there's something that you want to do and you want to make money doing it, you should probably start doing it for free first. Because one, you start developing credibility, because one, you know how to do the thing, you know how to get results doing the thing, but you also start building goodwill, essentially just a good reputation. So yeah, you'll start doing this for free in your free time during the weekends when you have the most time to focus. Time is money. So if you play things right, you have a job, you're working 40 hours a week, start saving up as much money as possible so that in the future you can essentially buy back your time and you can focus your full week on this thing you want to be doing. But while we're still in the building phase, there's no reason for why you can't do what you want to do during the weekends. And if you're really persistent and consistent and stay dedicated to it, you'll be quite surprised at what you can accomplish in 1 or 2 hours. 6, sometimes your parents are right. And by sometimes, I mean usually all the time. They just have more experience. They've been around longer. Everything I said about saving money while you're building your passion in your free time and building your nest egg is something that my dad has been trying to tell me for years. I'm very stubborn and prideful, and it's useless, and I shouldn't be this way. I don't know why. It's just, it's a hindrance. I need to get over it. If I had taken my father's advice back in high school, I would be leagues beyond where I am right now. I may be a hypocrite for giving this advice because I still find it difficult to follow my parents' advice to this day. But I'm getting better. I'm making my way. We're making progress slowly. Number 7, at the end of the day, the decision is yours. With great power comes great responsibility, and we have the amazing and terrifying power to choose which direction our life goes in. Many people resent having this power. They just want things to be chosen for them. It's understandable, but completely unacceptable. As I said earlier, society puts a lot of pressure on us to know exactly what it is we want to do. Like I said, that's a silly expectation. Who the hell knows what they want to do? My recommendation and advice that I'm trying to follow myself is just to experience as much as possible. 1% better every day. Consistency is key. All in all, following your passion is a process of trial and error. It requires active participation and the willingness to be wrong and to look foolish. Hopefully my mistakes and learning lessons can set one person on the right path. That's it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.